Kena Bridge of Spirits is unlike any game I have ever played. Not because it does anything particularly groundbreaking, pretty much everything here we've seen before, but never in all my years of gaming have I played a game that looks like this and plays like this. I swear to... No! Look, I know I'm really late to the party on this one. This game took an embarrassing amount of time for me to finish, but I feel like this game has been mostly ignored by the general public, so I'm getting on here to tell you why I believe that Kena Bridge of Spirits is a game everyone should play. Here we go. Gonna try to do this without spoiling the whole story because I really want you all to play this game, but there may be some minor story and gameplay spoilers ahead, so here are some words on a screen. Please read them and don't get mad at me. The game kicks off with you playing as Kena, a young spirit guide with magical abilities that allow her to help spirits trapped in the mortal world move on to the spirit world. You know, like the title, Bridge of Spirits. She's the bridge for the spirits. You guys are smart, you get it. You're doing so good, sweetie. You enter a dark cave in an unfamiliar land, and you have to use energy to light crystals around you to guide your way. Eventually, you encounter a masked figure that tells you to turn back, but you're like, nah fam, and then you fight your first set of enemies with your super dope light up staff. After you make it out of the cave, you encounter your first Rot, which are the adorable little creatures you've probably seen in the promos for this game. Rot are basically the mascots of the game, and it's pretty easy to see why. Just fucking look at them. Don't tell me you made it through this scene without smiling. No, you didn't. After you collect your first Rot, you encounter Spooky Mask Man one more time, fight another monster, and then you meet the first spirits in need of your help, Saya and Benny, whose brother Taro was lost deep in the forest, and they need your help to find him. You follow them to the village, which is the main hub in this world, and learn that a sickness swept through the village and killed most of its people, and then a deadly corruption spread. Kena is certain she can clear the corruption if she can make it to the mountain shrine. Reaching the mountain shrine and helping trapped spirits move on along the way becomes the main objective of the game. Throughout the story, you encounter other spirits that are holding on to their mortal lives for one reason or another. While telling their stories, the game deals with themes of loss, regret, loneliness, failure, and a ton of other heavy topics that you wouldn't expect out of a game that looks like a Pixar film. Kena has to help these lost spirits deal with their respective issues so they can move on. And along the way you learn more about Kena's history and her personal motives for reaching the mountain shrine. Some people have critiqued Kena as being a bland and uninteresting character, and although I do somewhat agree that the game doesn't focus too much on her personal character development, I feel like that's not the point of the game anyway. The point is helping lost spirits along the way, and their stories are incredibly interesting. When it comes to combat, Kena really took me by surprise. It starts out as a very simple action-adventure hack-and-slash type game. Your staff has a light attack, heavy attack, and a charged attack. Eventually, you can upgrade your staff into a bow that shoots energy arrows. You can use an energy bubble as a shield and parry enemy attacks if you have better timing than me. And the more XP you get and the more Rot you collect, the more abilities you can unlock and upgrade. I don't want to give too much away, but eventually you unlock Rot abilities that can be charged up and used in battle to deal heavy damage. And you're gonna need them because the fights in this game are tough, man. This may look like a game for kids, but it is not a kid's game. Even fights with lower level enemies can be overwhelming if there are a lot of them, and the major boss fights could have come straight from the mind of Miyazaki. The first major boss took me about 20 attempts before I finally made the cardinal gamer sin of turning the difficulty down. What seems like simple melee combat at first becomes vastly more interesting and intense the further you get into the game. Even though it may not look it, this Disney-ass game may just give you a challenge that you weren't expecting. Normally when I review a game, I like to talk about the environment of the game first, but with this one I've chosen to save it for last because it really was the thing that kept me coming back. At this point, a beautifully animated open world is expected, right? If you're a AAA studio. But the fact that this is Ember Lab's first game is mind-boggling to me. Ember was an animation studio before making games. You've probably seen the Majora's Mask video they did because it has like 11 million views. So it makes sense that the cutscenes look incredible. But here's the thing, so does everything else. This game had no right to look and sound and feel the way it did. At basically any time, you can stop and spin the camera around and see for miles. There's an entire vista within view at all times. The world is mostly green, being an overgrown forest and all, but you do venture outside of that at times into dark caves, snow-capped mountains, and open farmland, and all of it is incredibly detailed with realistic lighting and shadows. The overall tone of the game also changes depending on the state of the area you're in. If the area is clean of corruption, it's bright and colorful, and the music is upbeat and cheerful, but once you enter a corrupted area, the world feels very different. The lush, colorful forest is gone. You're met with a muted, barren landscape covered in spores. The music becomes dark, ominous, and a tone of dread and sadness takes over. You really feel the sickness that is spread over this place. But once you defeat the corrupted enemies and use the rot to destroy the spores, everything changes. The muted gray look is replaced with that vibrant color again. It's like the world is coming back to life before your eyes. Clearing corrupted areas in this game is one of the most satisfying gaming experiences I've had in the past year. But one of the most incredible things about this game is that you don't need high-powered equipment for it to run. I played it on a PS5 with an OLED TV, not a flex, I just have no self-control. So of course it looked insane. But from everything I've read, this game can run just as well on a stock PS4 or lower-end gaming PC, with very few dips in FPS or game-breaking glitches. It's so perfectly optimized that no matter your setup, you will have an enjoyable experience with this game. When I try to think of a thought-out conclusion or a main point to this video, I can't really come up with one. I just wanted to talk about a game that I think deserved a lot more attention than it got, from a studio that went above and beyond what is expected from a debut indie title. I really enjoyed this game, and I think you will too. Go play it. But that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to like this video, and then please share it with 1 million of your closest friends. Thank you so much. New videos every Thursday, so make sure to subscribe. Follow us on Twitch, Instagram, and TikTok. And we have a Discord now too, so come chat with us on there. Thanks again. See you next time. Bye.